Talk a little bit about the unique flavors of the different fives we have, the wings and the subtypes. First of all, you could be a 5 with the 4 wing or a 5 with the 6 wing. The 5 with the 4 wing is what we often call an iconoclast. It's this Vincent van Gogh kind of character, in the sense that when they're doing well, they're healthy, they're much more creative and sensitive, but when they're not walking with the Lord, they can get much more self-absorbed. It's interesting, a 5 with a 6 wing, Albert Einstein, is actually really good for that because a lot of them are really interested in the sciences. In fact, a lot of them work that way. They're much more problem solvers. They can be very logical and still have a fair amount of anxiety. And of course, they're very skeptical when they're not doing well, when they're tired or when they are not walking with the Lord, honestly. The subtypes, these 3 different subdivisions of the 5, where you usually have one that's primary, a second one that's secondary, and then a third that is a blind spot. You just don't see it much. The self-preservation 5, we often call it a castle defender. You get the idea. It's a great term to summarize it. This subtype is focusing on creating boundaries to get protection, when they feel that they need to be alone in their sanctuary. They protect their boundaries and their privacy. They're introverted. They do not express themselves as much as other 5s. Their need is in their castle. All they need's there, and this is like usually a special chair, a special room, their office, whatever it may be. And they just try not to depend on others. They will socialize with trusted people for sure. However, they can leave them depleted and will need time to re-energize. So that's a self-preservation 5. A 1-to-1, this getting connection with another person, is often called a secret agent. This is one that you wouldn't normally think as much to be a 5 because they're a little bit more romantic than the other styles. They search for the ideal mate and are looking for ideal, absolute love. They are sensitive, desire to have a mate. They'll meet these needs of ideal trust, and they typically suffer more. They resemble a little bit more like a 4. Sometimes they can be mistyped or misunderstood and not see themselves as a 5 as they go. But they are also much more isolated than the other 5s and enjoy an inner vibrant life. I mean, it's not like they don't enjoy that isolation. It's quite a joy for them. They desire to share life with a mate who values their privacy and boundaries. Now, 5, that is a social 5, we often call a professor. Much more extroverted and social of a 5 than the other 2. They focus on a cause or a belief system to bring meaning to their life. They happily share their knowledge and ideals and values, but the resources, such as time and space, not so much. They do not want life to be meaningless, so they're kind of on this quest to find the ideal. And they will relate deeply with people who share their ideals and also who want to excel. So that is an idea of the different flavors of the style 5.